What up, you YouTube? This is DFishFan, and I have another segment, well, not segment, another edition of Cards Not to Forget. Alright, guys, so here's the 5 cards that we're going to cover. Now, let's go ahead and get on with the first one so I don't waste your time. Alright? First one, Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. Now, this card is pretty damn good, alright? So, I can see this card working great in a certain type of deck. A deck that runs a lot of spells, and yeah, a lot of spells. Working great against a deck that runs a lot of spells as well. Or at least relies on a spell. Say, Infernities, what is it? Six Samurais, decks like that where, you know, they don't need it. Samurais don't need it, but Infernities needed Launcher, you know, Samurais, they really like having Gateway or Six Sam United or Sheehan Smoke Signal, stuff like that. So yeah, what this card does, in case you don't know, it is kind of an older card. You discard one spell card. Now, note that it has to be a spell card. If not, this card would be great. Discard one spell card from your hand to negate the activation of an and effect of a spell card and destroy it. Your opponent cannot activate spell cards of the same name, including the spell card that is destroyed by this card's effect, during the rest of the duel. Now, that is a great little extra sentence right there. That means that not only are you saying fuck your couch to one spell card, but to all 3 if they run 3. You know, they're saying don't even think about running that spell card, okay? So I think that's a very, very good possible side deck, possible main deck even for a deck that runs a lot of spells of their own, so they can ditch, so that they have a spell card to discard. Definitely a nice tech. I can definitely see this having an important factor in the future. Alright, you guys, so let's move on to number 2. Electric Virus. Now, this is a light level 3, 1,000 attack and defense, a thunder monster. Now, this card's effect is by discarding this card from your hand to the graveyard, take control of one face-up machine or dragon-type monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn. Does that remind you of something? I mean, it rings a bell, doesn't it? You guys ever heard of Puppet Plant? Yeah. Puppet Plant against Six Samurais is great for decks of Synchro, where you can take control of Sheehan, Synchro, and get rid of it. Now, you don't run in Gravekeepers because you don't Synchro, so pretty much all you're doing is delaying the inevitable by taking Sheehan for one turn. And you don't really L2K either, so that's not that great of a choice. But in decks of Synchro, Puppet Plant is pretty amazing against Six Sams. And I think Electric Virus, if there ever was a machine or dragon type deck that was just tearing it up and, you know, goes all crazy, this is a great side deck against them. Why not just get a free monster to use? And your opponent, you want to get rid of it before the end phase, obviously. But, I mean, even a turn is great. So don't forget about this card if machines or dragons get popular, alright? Pretty random. An Electric Virus takes out a machine. I can see that. And a dragon? I don't know about that one. Alright, so I guess that's just Konami logic. Konami logic. Alright, so next card. What the fuck? Alright. Alright, so we got Acid Trap Hole. Now this is an older card as well. It first came out in a video game. I remember getting this card. Select one face down defense position monster and flip it face up. If the monster's defense is 2,000 or less, destroy it. If the monster's defense is 2,000 or more, just pretty much return it to the face down position. Now, the only downside to this card is that the effect's not, if they have a flip effect, it's gonna activate it. So there's nothing you can do about that. But it gives you one less thing to worry about, because their monster that they just set is going to be destroyed. Because how many face down monsters that they set are going to have 2100 defense or more? There's like hardly any that I can think of that are meta, or at least tier 2 or 3. Even the high defense monsters, Spy. Let's see what else. I can only think of Great Keepers, probably because I run Great Keepers. Debris Dragon. They're all 2,000 exactly, which would still be affected by the Acid Trap Hole and be destroyed. So this is definitely a decent card. It's not a great card, don't get me wrong, but a decent card. If there's ever a deck that's set and doesn't run flip effects, I don't know, for whatever reason, this card would put in work, really would. And I can actually see it as a decent card right now. Now I know Crossout is obviously amazing because the cards that people set today are flip effects. But worst comes to worst, I don't know, say you just hate Gravekeeper Spy and you run Crossouts and you want to look for something else, you can Acid Trap Hole it. Because, yes, they still get the monster, don't get me wrong, but you can Oppression it if it's out on the field because it's not during the damage step. Also, well, what you do, how you use this card is as soon as they set it, you activate Acid Trap Hole, so, you know, they can't go crazy with it. But they're still going to get the, say they get a Descendant, the Spy is going to be gone, so they're not going to have their one target. So, just, it's a decent card, just don't forget about it. It has potential. Alright, coming up on the last two cards, we got Dark World Shackles. Now this is a card, when I read the effect, I was like, wow, that can be pretty annoying. So, it's an equip spell. I know equips are like, wait, did I do this card in a previous segment? I don't know about that. If I did, sorry, I'll just talk about it again. But if I didn't, then continue watching. Or if I did, you can just skip to the last card, because it's a super secret. Alright, so, we got, this is a common from Starstrike Blast, and what it reads is, the equipped monster cannot attack, and its attack and defense become 100. During each of your standby phases, inflict 500 damage to the controller of the equipped monster. So, what is bad about that effect for you? Okay, so you equip it to your opponent's monster. Say they have, I don't know, or say, okay, any deck that you run, envision the deck that you're running. They bring out Stardust, okay? You can Dark World Shackle Stardust. Its attack and defense becomes 100. It's probably in attack position. And you can either burn them with Dark World Shackle's effect, but that probably wouldn't be the smart thing to do because they could just get rid of it. Or you can beat the hell out of them with 100 attack and, yeah, inflict a lot of damage. Now, another purpose I could see this card serving is for OTK decks. Decks like Malefic or decks where you know, get a one beat stick with Megamorph coming around, maybe Chimera Tech Overdragon, Megamorph coming to 2 and Overload coming to 2. You know, I could see that deck. You have, what is it, 8,000 monster out there, and you lower their monster's attack to 100 and then attack for game pretty much. That can be pretty useful. So, remember this card? Be very scared of it. And last but not leastly, we got Level Conversion Lab. Now, I was going through my comments and I saw this card. I didn't read its effect. Well, no, I did at that time, but I hadn't read his effect. But its effect is, it's a trap card. Select one monster in your hand, show it to your opponent, then roll a 6-sided die. If the result is 1, send the selected monster to the graveyard. If the result is 2 through 6, the level of the selected monster becomes equal to the result until the end phase of the turn. Now, this can come in handy. I can really see this coming in handy. In decks where, like, cards may be hard to get out, you know. Let's see. I don't know. There's got to be decks where, like, a monster's ridiculously hard to get out. You have it in your hand. It's a dead draw. You can roll the dice. You have a 5 out of 6. I suck at math. 5, 6. I have no idea what percentage that is. That's got to be like in the 80s or 90s. But you have that much of a chance of being able to either the worst case scenario is it's going to be a 5 or 6 and you have to tribute, but only one monster, you know. But you have a 2 through 4. Let's see, 2, 3, 4. You have a 50% chance of being able to just normal summon the monster, no matter what level it is. That's pretty damn good. That can really change the game. Being able to turn your beat stick dead draw that you can't even get out there into a normal summon for a turn. That's very good. So I can definitely see this card having potential in like a high level deck. You know, combining it. Usually those decks have draw power with trade in and stuff. So yeah, it sounds like a very fun card, and I don't know. Maybe we'll see this card in the future. So don't forget about it. All right, YouTube. This has been DFishFan and cards not to forget. I always appreciate feedback on these type of segments. So if you like the video, thumbs it up. Show me that you like it, you know? And if you don't like it, thumbs it down. And show me that you don't like it, you know, stuff like that. Also, comment in the section below. I'll be glad to answer any questions. If you want to suggest any cards for this segment, go ahead and feel free to do that in the comment section below or through PM, since I do read all of those, and I do mean all of them. All right, you guys. So thanks for watching. Remember to rate, comment, favorite, subscribe, and this has been DFishFan. Laters.